Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life Redesigned. I got a question for you, Carrie.
What's that?
How do you shop for 35,000 viewers?
You don't. You show them something that's going to be embarrassing to the creator.
And the only way we could think of saying happy holidays to you would be... Huh?
No. It's Merry Christmas. That's how we do it here on Life Redesigned.
The only way we could say Merry Christmas to you without going financially bankrupt was to share something that no other channel can give you. And no, we're not talking about all those apps that are going around. She told me not to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. We're talking about sharing humility with you. Back when we first started some 5 years ago, we thought we knew all about RV life. Well, you're going to find out, were we full of crap, or were we just, well, projecting what we're going to deal with at a full-time RV life. The year was 2019. It's just two people inside an RV. It's a horrible video, but we wanted to share with you because if you can't make fun of yourself, somebody else is going to do it. Enjoy. You ready?
I am ready.
We're ready.
No.
I froze up. Apparently I'm not ready.
We're not ready.
We're not ready. We have a sip of my coffee, then maybe we'll be ready.
So to start it off, I'm Carrie.
I'm Bob. Kind of looking over some ideas for videos and decided that if you're going to watch and you're going to invest time in what we do and where we're going, you probably want to know who we are and what we're all about. So we decided that we're going to bore you with a quick little story about what's brought us to this particular point in our life and where we're going from here. So first, for those of you who don't know us, we've been married for 25 years this coming April. We have three fantastic children who we've raised, and they're now growing up, and they're 25, 24, and 17, and they basically don't need us anymore. So now we're kind of forced to deal with each other, and we found out through the course of this dealing with each other that we actually like each other. Mm-hmm. So who would have thought it? So we'll just give you a brief rundown of why we're here in this and not inside our house and what's going on. So yeah, I guess that would conclude our brief intro. I have notes. So what really started this was one day we were, just going through our daily 9 to 5 and was come up where some work needed to be done. She had a 2005 Dodge minivan that we bought brand new in 04. Yeah. This was roughly, I don't know, say 5 years ago. So we had it for quite a long amount of time. We wanted to look at options to trade it in, and it was time to get her up into something new and downsize, so to speak. And we had, 138,000 miles?
138,000 miles of nowhere miles.
Yeah, that's kind of funny because that brings us to a good portion of this is that we looked at that and said, where did we go in 130 plus thousand miles?
Nowhere.
We went to we went to the mall.
Every mall. Every outlet center.
Our whole life was if it was shopping, we were in it. And we kind of just broke down at this point and kind of culminated into around the same time I started growing the beard. Yeah. We started listening to different types of music and in particularly Green Sky Bluegrass, which if you're not aware of who they are, yeah, the amazing band.
Which I gave him crap for because I thought he was off his rocker when he first started listening to it. And then it's absolutely beautiful stuff.
Yeah, so we ended up basically through that music and that progression and just basically your lifestyle goes from, or everything that you're influenced by is about money and about cars and about wealth and clothing and everything else.
Social status.
Yeah, the music, and when I say I only listen to this, this is all I listened to. If it wasn't by Green Sky Bluegrass, it didn't exist in my world. And I forced myself to try this and was amazed at what I found. And then Carrie joined me, and we started listening to this together, and started growing the beard. And just your whole outlook on everything changes. And
I think the first for you was quitting smoking.
Oh, yeah, quitting smoking.
So many years. You were 13?
I was 13 years old when I started smoking, and I quit about 5 or 6 years ago, around the same time I started growing the beard.
Which is incredible. So yay.
Yeah, so that kind of helps too. So one of our first trips was I had a jacked up Grand Cherokee. I live in New Hampshire now, so that is basically okay to have. Our youngest daughter, this was around our 20th anniversary, being so young at the time, we're going to take her with us. We decided, I've always wanted to see Niagara Falls. And my wife had never been at that point, correct?
No.
So we rented a hotel. We piled in the Grand Cherokee, and we drove for what was our longest road trip, 6.5 hours. And our youngest daughter at the time, very car sick all the time. So we're kind of like, we chose this route because every 20 miles or so along the route that we took, I think it's Route 9, I could be wrong, is a rest area. So it gave her a chance to breathe and, whatever. And we were finding that we were going further and further because she had gotten older and didn't get sick anymore. So we made it all the way to Niagara Falls, and it was an amazing experience to see this and just to wander around. And it's in April, right? Which, if you're going to go in April, because there's no crowds, no lines. We did the Meet of the Mist, all the touristy things we did, and we loved it. With the exception of we hit the border to where you could walk across, and we don't have passports. Well, we didn't have passports. So I'll get to that in a minute. But that's a pivotal point in this story. So we do the Myrtle Beach thing. We come back, and I'm pumped because I drove 6+ hours, almost 7 hours. One, nobody vomited. We made it. And then it became, how far can we go? Like, what's next? And I think that was the start of that travel bug, right? Where we're going to go, how we're going to do things. So the next trip, that was in April. Carrie had started a new job.
2017.
Yep. Carrie had started a new job. So we're kind of, her time off and mine were totally imbalanced at that point. So we ended up not really doing much until the following April. So we did a couple of concerts here and there. We did a couple of day trips here and there, but nothing really substantial. So come to our next wedding anniversary in April, the following year. Now we're hooked. We got to go on the road. We had a little 2007 Jeep Compass.
Yeah.
That had like 70,000 miles on it. So this thing we can go anywhere. And our youngest daughter obviously is going with us again at this point. She's 14 or so, and so she's going with us. And we had started watching another channel called Less Junk, More Journey.
Yep.
And these guys do amazing job with their family. They're full-time or 90%, I should say. I think everybody knows who they are, but if you don't, check them out. Very family-based. And they had done this video about Roanoke, Virginia, and McAfee Knob, and hiking portions of the Appalachian Trail. And we were hooked. We wanted to go. And it's, if you look up, they have a video, and it's called Captain Underpants. And they're at the top of McAfee Knob. But at any rate, we were hooked. That's where we wanted to go. Our daughter was like, yeah, we're not doing that. She's like, I want to go somewhere where there's palm trees. She wanted to see a palm tree. Did I mention we live in New Hampshire? New Hampshire. So us being awesome parents, we're going to split our anniversary trip up. We did half in Myrtle Beach, and half in Roanoke, in Catawba, McAfee
Went
Knob.
through Shenandoah.
Yeah. So Myrtle Beach, again, this was 13+ hours for us.
Yeah.
in a car with, mind you, no AC.
Zero.
Yeah, so we did this. We drive out from Myrtle Beach. After a few days, we go over to Roanoke in that area, which again we had never seen before, so we're blown away by this. We hike McAfee Knob or McAfee Knob, however you want to pronounce it. I'm horrible at pronouncing things. We stay in Roanoke. We tried to go over to this restaurant called Scramble, which is also in their video, which we didn't get to till like 2 years later.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, really good. So we do this, and on the way back, I had mapped out so much because I try to cram as much as I can into every trip because for some reason I think every trip's gonna be the last trip. So we had done Shenandoah and Skyline Drive.
Yep.
And we got there, and we didn't even know it was National Parks Day. Apparently every April they do this. So there's no charge. And we're driving through, because on our way back to New Hampshire, we're going to stop at Hershey. And because you got to do the Hershey, Pennsylvania tour. Plus, as I mentioned, I like to cram as much into a trip as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So we do Shenandoah, and again, we're falling in love with this because it's DAT, and anything hiking at this point for us was really, really big. And imagine there's this thing called nature, and it doesn't belong with Abercrombie and Fitch and
Forever 21
and the Gap and all this other nonsense. So this is all new,
and there's so much of it.
And the funny part is we're not spending, like, we're taking 10 grand on a trip, and we're literally spending a quarter of that. And I think maybe the first trip we didn't take 10 grand. It might have been maybe 5, but we're coming back with like 4 grand, right? That's pretty cool for us because we would have been shopping the whole time. So we finish this trip up. We go to Hershey, and I'll put some pictures that we've taken, some beautiful pictures, at least to us anyway, of places we've been. I'll throw these over. We'll do an overlay. And then we get back, and now we're world travelers. So we basically looked at each other, and here we are in April, and where are we going next? And I think my wife and I both kind of looked at each other and went, let's go to Disney, right? I hadn't been since I was a kid. You would think the same way.
I was, yeah.
So we decided we're going to pile back in the Compass one more time, and we're going to take it all the way down to Orlando. And so October comes, we pile in the car, and we have no idea what to expect. I drove to Myrtle Beach. I can drive
go anywhere.
So I drove nonstop straight through to Orlando from New Hampshire, 24, 25 hours.
Yeah.
Which don't ever do. Stop and sleep. It's a good thing for you. We did Orlando, just my wife, myself, and our youngest, because again, she's forced to go everywhere at this point. We did Disney, we did Epcot, we did Animal Kingdom. Yep. We drove out to Tampa, where we had the car breakdown, which was awesome.
Yes. In Florida, in the Compass, no AC.
No AC.
No running car on the side of the road.
And if you're not from down south, here's something interesting. The further south you get, the more you notice that most cars are white. And you go, this is weird, because up here, that's not the case. And we're driving a black Compass with no AC, and we found out why that's not a good idea. So we go out to Tampa. We do Caladesi Island, which I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, because I'm probably not. We do this. Just an amazing time. We had driven through Clearwater, and we jetted over to the other side, and we went to Cocoa Beach, went to Daytona Beach, which we had done all this great stuff. We're there for a week. Again, we're going down with all this money that we had budgeted, and we're spending a quarter of the money, right? And it wasn't that we were being cheap. We did everything. We did all the Disney things. We had an Airbnb. We had a beautiful house that we rented with a pool. But we weren't spending any money because we were enjoying the moment.
Experiences versus shopping.
Yeah, and as a father, that was huge for me, and as a husband, that was great because that meant we were doing what we should have been doing. Now that we know this,
And we kept asking our youngest, "Do you want anything? Do you want anything?" You don't just say, "Hey, I want," because I mean, again, how often are you going to get back to Disney? Hold that thought.
yeah. So
And she didn't. She enjoyed where we were, what we were doing, and it wasn't about the trivial trinkets and things like that. She wanted no part of it.
So around this time, this is the other funny part. So around this time, we started watching just a little more YouTube because we want to know where we're going to go next. And we say, ugh, because this is really what did it for us. So we're still watching Less Junk, More Journey. We started clicking on a little more things. And lo and behold, we found, in our opinion, the master of all things Winnebago.
The godfather of travel.
The godfather of travel, who one day we are going to sit down with, and that's Robert Morales of Traveling Robert. This man is, and I don't think he realizes what he does, right? His videos were really inspirational about where he was going, and he tells a story that it's not just, hey, I'm going here and you're not, we're moving. He tells a story in a way that it's just awesome. So when we started, and this is the bad thing about Traveling Roberts, is he's extremely addictive. Mm-hmm. You want to know more, and he sings, and he does, like, he's awesome.
He's
right?
got it all.
He's got it all. He's really doing it, and he's living it right. And so at this point, we're watching Traveling Robert, and if for those of you who know him, he has a 17-foot Micro Mini, which he calls Mini Teeny, which is the little brother to this. And we're going to go start camping. So we buy a 1994 Scamper pop-up. And hopefully you guys are still with us at this point. So, because we're not quite at the point where we're travel trailer ready, but we like the idea of taking this along and maybe popping up somewhere, right? So we do this. We got the Scampers, we like to call it, and we fixed that up. I'll put some pictures in here. Carrie did an amazing job with that. And it's small. That's another thing we'll get into. So while this is always going on, we did a little camping, some local stuff, and then we're looking around at each other and we're going, hey, you know what would be really good would be if you actually bought that new car that we've been talking about instead of just driving the little Compass. So we go down, Carrie gets a 2018 Jeep Cherokee, the Blueberry as we called it.
Big Blue.
Big Blue, with air conditioning and leather. Butt warmers.
Sunroof.
Keeps my butt warm. Sunroof the whole night, right? So, and this is important because we bought this for the sole intention of going to Florida. So, in May, we now took our oldest, 2 children, and our youngest child. We pack all in this Cherokee, which seems enormous until you put 5 people in it.
Basically 3 adults in the back seat. Funny as heck.
And what do? I drive straight down to Orlando again. Straight through, nonstop. And we do the whole Disney thing all over again. It was great. We get to share with our oldest kids, which were awesome. We did the Tampa Aquarium. We did all the touristy little things, and we make our way back. And at this point, so this is in May, at this point, Carrie and I are like, we can't stay home for more than a month. And then you're starting to Google and you start watching where you're going, and we're watching Traveling Robert, and because now it's Traveling Robert 24/7 here. So we're watching this, we're doing this, and then we decide we're going to venture on our own. In June or July, we go up to, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but per se, Quebec, Canada. We have passports now. How about that?
Woo-hoo.
Canada will not deny me, and. So we go up there, and wow, this is, and I'm going to put pictures here because this is a place that if you haven't been, right, you're missing out on what there is. Like I can't even. It's just amazing. It's literally.
It has everything.
As a guy, to say breathtaking, right? It's breathtaking. It really is.
It's like a little fishing town, but it has the ocean, it has the mountains, it has everything. It is the most beautiful place I've ever been.
And one of the best parts is they don't speak English.
And we don't speak
And we don't speak French. So, but it's one of those things that the more we dive into Canada and stuff, we love that. I do anyway. I love being lost. I love being just submerged in another culture and not understanding things, because you are forced to face all this stuff and you have to learn and whatever. So we do this. In the meantime, I blew my back out on a hike up there on the International Appalachian Trail.
We went up to the lighthouse.
The lighthouse out in the ocean.
What the heck was the lighthouse? It was like the last point.
Gaspé. Probably pronounced it wrong. But Gaspé, Quebec, Canada. It's up at the top of Quebec.
What was it called?
Don't remember. I'll put a picture up. So
anyway, it's beautiful.
It is very beautiful. So I blew my back out and drove 15 and a half hours back because she wouldn't drive in another country because she didn't understand the road signs and they were in French.
Yeah,
so
no, I'm okay.
We drive back, and now I'm kind of couch bound for a little while. I can't move, and so what do? So I'm watching more Traveling Robert. And so now I've got some time to heal up, and now we're starting to plan for April again in our big anniversary. And this time my son said, "Look, love you guys, but after riding with you for that amount of time,
and
I'm all set."
Two sisters in the back seat.
Yeah. So he dropped out. This last one, we decide we're going to go back to Florida because it's warm in April. We're going to take both our daughters this time. And we are going to now have fun, right? Until Traveling Robert. Traveling Robert puts out a video, or it might have been a little bit older at the time, with Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
We had our whole Florida trip planned out, mind you, prior to this. Totally
planned. And this is right around Easter weekend.
Yep.
So, the travel time is going to be perfect for us. Gatlinburg. Now I have to see this, right? Traveling Robert's been there. I have to go. So keep in mind, I still don't have the big camper yet. So I'm still, we're still Airbnb in it and whatever. So we do Gatlinburg, which you got to see to go. I mean, you have to see it to believe it. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to run with it because I've been talking straight. So at any rate,
all right.
We go to Gatlinburg. This time we're not going to go to Disney though. Right, because we've done that. So we are going to go to the Gulf side of Florida, and we're going to go to Panama City Beach.
Beautiful place.
Beautiful place. The resort that we stayed at, you could look down and you just see nothing but stingrays in the water, and it was just amazing. Our two daughters are with us until we're doing this. We stay there for a few days, and then because Myrtle Beach now is always going to be special to us because that was our first real road trip, right? So we go back to Myrtle Beach, we do North Myrtle Beach, and this is important about Myrtle Beach, and you'll see in a second, but we do that, we come home, and that's in April, right? Mm-hmm. So now, come June, July again, Mrs. and I are like, we need to go. So we take our scamper, remember the pop-up, right? And we decided we're going to haul this to Canada now because we have passports. We're big people. I got a big truck now. It's going to be great. So we go up to Lake Carmi in Vermont, which we're going to do a video on this year because, wow, is that place amazing. And there's really nothing much online about it. So we do a few nights in Carmi, and then we shoot over the border, and we go to Bon Echo Provincial Park in Canada, which is absolutely incredible. We did some kayaking up there, a day trip to Toronto, which horrendous traffic.
Amazing, though. Toronto is beautiful.
Toronto is a beautiful city. So we do this at Carmi, backing the pop-up camper in, which is really just a big suitcase attached to a truck. I put a hole in it because I apparently decided I'm going to put the bumper of my big truck through the camper. So That's an interesting thing. So that was kind of the downward slide for the Scamper. I think at that point the Scamper was tainted.
We never took it out again, and so here it sits in our yard.
Yep, it sits in our yard. We'll probably donate that to
punished. If I feel like it's being punished.
Yeah, we'll donate that to a deserving couple or something that will get the mileage out of it that we should have. Is it still usable? I really just cracked the outer skin on the front and it's all fixed. But at any rate, so we do Bon Echo, we come back, and here we are. And this was in June, July-ish. Okay. So then we go down to Hershey, Pennsylvania for the big RV show, right? Right around there.
Yep.
Because now we're ready. We're ready to buy Mini Teeny 2.0 or whatever you want to call it, 17-footer travel trailer. We are going to be, heck,
we're gonna bring it home.
I'm going to be traveling Bob. I got the traveling hat, which anytime I travel, wear the hat. Before I do about traveling Robert, and so I'm traveling Bob. I'm going to buy the little camper. I'm taking Carrie with me. We're going to hit the road. It's going to be great. No more Airbnbs. No more pop-ups that we have to sleep in separate beds because my big butt don't fit in the same side as her. We're going to do this. So we get to Hershey, and we can't stand anything that we see. Right, we go into the new versions of Mini Teeny, which is really the same thing as what he has. But again, we're not watching it like this. We're watching, we're seeing it in person. We walked through every camper. We weren't happy with the fit and finish or trim and finish, whatever you want to call it. We weren't happy with layouts. We weren't happy with closet space. The refrigerators were too small.
The wet bath.
The wet baths in some of these. So there wasn't one that we could agree on, right? Because, keep in mind, we got the 94 Scamper. So we leave Hershey.
We didn't leave. We had decided at that time, because we couldn't find the proper setup. They had tiny houses there. So we're like, okay, that's it. So we went through the tiny houses. We're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to buy a nice piece of property. We're going to plop a tiny house, and we're going to call it a day.
Somewhere warmer.
Yeah.
Within like a 10 or 12 hour radius, we had said.
But we couldn't decide on that either. We couldn't agree on that.
Until around a few weeks before Thanksgiving. I'm surfing the internet looking for Winnebagos. I knew this much. I knew if we're going to do this and buy a camper, because the reality of building or buying a tiny house is that we'd have to agree on where we're going to settle, right? So we're in New Hampshire now. We have careers. We have, our children are here. To have a second place somewhere, you'd have to really love a place. And we're not done exploring. We love North Carolina. We love Virginia. Virginia, my God. We've been there a few times. I'm leaving some trips out. And we've done these things. And to settle down one place is kind of crazy. So I'm on the internet, which is another bad thing. And I had done all this research on campers. And I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a Winnebago. I'm looking for a 2100 bunkhouse because I have the additional bunks for the kids if they ever want to go. Good luck with that. And if it's not, I can turn it into an office, right? So I do a lot of woodworking. I can make this happen. And lo and behold, I find exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the exact same color as Traveling Robert's Mini Teeny because I want the Mini Teeny Dream. And I found everything's perfect. I hit the map on this website and it shows, wow, it's right down the 91 corridor, which runs up Vermont and New Hampshire, Vermont and Massachusetts. It's about 40 minutes from here. So here I am. I'm in. So I don't want to lose this. So I fill out a credit app online. I hit submit. I tell the wife, this is it. This is what we're going to do. She's on board. We're ready to go.
I'm like, so where is it?
I get a call the next day, and hey, are you really interested in this camper? And it's from was it Recreation USA? And are you really interested? And ironically, on 91 from here, what makes this funny is that there is a huge RV dealership, But I don't like people, so I really don't want to go in. I'd rather just do it online. So he said, "You're really interested in this?" I'm like, "Absolutely. What am I going to do? This is exactly what we're looking for." And, we're getting along pretty well. And then he goes, "So there's no sales tax in New Hampshire, right? How does that work?" And I'm like, "It's kind of an odd question. The guy's right down the road in Massachusetts." So he says, he goes, and I said, "Oh, well, no state sales tax for New Hampshire." And he goes, "Oh, we don't get that often." And I'm like, "People from New Hampshire don't shop in Massachusetts. It's literally 15 minutes to the border and then, half hour down." And he goes, "No." And I'm looking down at my phone and I'm going, the guy's calling me from South Carolina. So I said, was it Pat? It was his name,
Pat,
right?
yeah.
I said, "Pat, where are you?" And he says, "Longs, South Carolina." So I'm like, what the hell's a Longs, South Carolina? So I start Googling. I said, hell. I got scolded. So I start Googling Longs, and I'm laughing because it's literally 15 minutes outside of Myrtle Beach. So now I'm in it because Pat is awesome and funny. And I started talking to a gentleman there named Chris. And so I'm going to give a little plug to these guys because these guys are fantastic. So Chris worked with me, got the numbers to where we wanted them, was awesome. And if you're in that area, hell, I did it again. If you're not in that area, look what they have and call Chris, and you tell Chris that I told you to go.
They are amazing.
He probably won't remember me, but he'll tell you to go.
Family owned. They're originally from New York.
Yep.
That moved to South Carolina, and they are the best group of people.
Hands down, you walk in there, and they treat you like family.
No kidding.
There was no that sleazy salesman thing.
Nothing.
They were just awesome to deal with. So says, "Yeah, when can you pick it up?" This is around Thanksgiving. So I know I have Thursday and Friday off that year. It's the first Black Friday day I've ever had off. My wife's off Thursday and Friday. So I looked at her and I said, "Road trip?" So we have Thanksgiving because we, with our children, and as soon as dinner's, we're supposed to leave at 2 a.m?
Yeah, no.
Nope. We left like
9
o'clock. Drove down. We're down there Black Friday, 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30, somewhere in there.
Again, drove straight through.
Was our appointment's at 10 to pick it up. I stopped and had the truck washed because you can't pick up a new camper with a dirty truck. We meet Chris and we do our thing, and we're out the door in a couple hours, and boom, we now own a 2019 Winnebago 2100 BH, which we'll do a complete video walking through because the information that's out there is a little kind of rough from what I've seen when I was researching. We're all hooked up. I've got the proper hitch that I wanted, the electric jack. I'll go into all that. Another video. That was a teaser. So that's high pressure right there. They're going to come back. Mm-hmm. So at any rate, so we drive it home. We sleep. I think I hadn't slept for like a day and a half. So we sleep at a shopping mall, parking lot.
We had mall pizza.
We had mall pizza and crashed in this thing.
Yep.
We stopped at a JCPenney's in the mall. We picked up some sheets, threw it on the bed, and passed out for like 2 hours. And it was warm too. We putz around in South Carolina for a little bit, and then we start working our way back. So we end up making it as far as North Carolina, somewhere on 95. And I said to the wife, "I'm going to do this right. I'm going to sleep." Right? We own our camper now. So we can boondock, right? Because we're in this. So we find the rest area, 95, we pull in, and, how long are you going to sleep for in a camper at a rest area, right?
Well,
we crashed hard. And it was probably the best night's sleep I had in years. Just knowing that we own this and our dream is starting to come through, and we're here. And so now this is where we're at. So it's parked in our driveway. It's now sat here for 3 months, or going on 3 months, because it is so cold that we're running our little buddy heater, and we're hooked
And
up to
it's
shore
still
power.
freezing.
It's
I'm
very
always
freezing.
always cold.
And we're planning our next adventure in where this goes. So this brings us to what the hell are we doing here? Okay, I'm gonna title this. What the hell are we doing?
Third time.
I'm gonna title this. What the hell are we doing here? I said that. So basically, this is where we're at. We're planning our next trip.
Yes.
And we decided that one of the cool things about what Traveling Robert does and Less Truck More Journey, and now these amazing amount of people from, was it Trip and Tracy that we just started communicating with, Nomadic Fanatic, which we've been watching, which I hear is controversial, but I don't get it. Jen and Dan and Jen Nevada. Which you guys
so funny.
So you guys,
so nice.
You guys are awesome, and I don't think you get enough credit for what you guys do. Another couple that they've gone big, and
they're full time.
They're full time, and Jen and Dan, we're going to give a shout out to you guys because we're hooked on your stuff now too. And it's just this overwhelming, thing of wanting to share. So we started doing, we're coming up with stuff, and if anything, if right now we have 10 subscribers, 10, and we're extremely grateful for you guys. Our whole goal is to, if anything, is to document what we do for couples, for families, for anybody that wants to get into this and not be overwhelmed with things. And at the same time, document our travels for our children to see. Because I don't want our children to do what we did, which was spend, 20 years going to the mall, right? I say this, and I've told you this many times, that my wife's my best friend, and what we do together on a regular basis. And I want them to see that we're more than mom and dad that pays the bills. We're more than mom and dad that, goes grocery shopping and goes to our jobs every day and comes home and does our thing. We travel and we do things, and we are living an amazing life that otherwise probably wouldn't have been known because we were doing just the mundane stuff all the time.
Yep.
So for our kids that eventually will hopefully watch this, but it probably won't be for 5 years from now.
No.
We want you to understand that when mom and dad aren't home, we're out there enjoying life. And if you're not doing this, you need to be doing this. So I always joke around that if I die in a fiery car crash and whatever.
Because he forgets to sleep.
Because I forget to sleep. Kids, this is what life is about and what to do. So 25 plus life is what we came up with as far as who we are and what we're doing. And, obviously we've been married for 25 years.
Yes.
And now it's the plus life part that we're focusing on. So in our logo, that it will be here or maybe here or wherever. The 2PL is just simply two people living in 25 plus life. And we hope you enjoy the journey with us. And here she goes with the waterworks, crying again. I'm very excited about where we go and what we do. There's so much I'd like this channel to be because there's so much, with the exception of the people that I mentioned in their channels, there's so much misinformation out there. This doesn't need to be $1 million motorhomes. This doesn't need to be $8,000 suspension upgrades and $3,000 worth of solar panels on the roof. You can do this and see this beautiful country in Canada and travel with your wife or your husband or your cat, your dog, your mouse. Hell, you can go get a baby gator, which she'll be holding in Florida. But you can do this, and it's you should do this. And if you're on the fence, and do I do this? Do I load myself in a van and go do it? It doesn't need to break the bank. You don't need to all this stuff that I watch out there. That these reviews of these things that are just these over the top look. We're the camper aside. We're into it for a little bit of money, right? And I'll go into another video I think that I'd love to do.
You're at 2 or 3 now?
How much this should cost you, because the amount of money that people spend is ridiculous. But there are expenses that you have to spend.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm done talking. This is probably the most I've heard talked in one setting. And
Not true.
it's true.
It isn't.
It is true.
No.
Nobody wants to watch us bicker. We really don't bicker.
No, but I'm right.
So yeah,
See?
she's right. So if you're here this long because, wow, we went way over our 20-minute mark,
Yeah.
I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to run with this as is. I'll throw some pictures up so you can see what we were talking about. If you're still here and you want to know where this is going, hit the like button, because apparently this matters. Hit the subscribe button, and apparently there's a bell. My daughter taught me there's a bell. And if you click on the bell and then you click notifications, you're going to get told when we do videos. I want to, there's a lot to this. We're on Instagram at 25 Plus Life. I try to post a picture of something that we've done or we've experienced every day, and I'll do a shameless plug to like and subscribe to our stuff. We have stickers if you want to do sticker swaps. Apparently this is a thing that we didn't know, but we have stickers. We'll be coming up with some new and cool stuff. Stick around. Editing's going to get better because I need to learn how to do all this. Yeah, that was all I got.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
No.
Trying to come up with a funny catch line on the
Standard
way out.
fare.
Yeah. So yeah, hey, if you guys, anything that you want to comment on, drop a comment in there. If there's things that you'd like to know more, drop a comment in there and we'll check it out. We're pretty good about replying to things on Instagram and here. Facebook, but YouTube and Instagram we're pretty much intertwined with. I have no funny catch lines.
For real?
For real. I'm just going to do one thing.
That's unheard of.
Traveling Robert, thank you.
You're incredible.
Dan and Jen, you guys.
I hope you're feeling better.
Definitely hope you're feeling better.
Wow.
Keep it going. Eric, Nomadic Fanatic, we're watching your stuff and we're into, I think, about 3 years in now.
Yep.
You just keep being you, man. You're doing it and you're crushing it. It's awesome. Tripping Tracy, thanks for reaching out and communicating with us in her new van and what she's doing. I think that's some really cool stuff there. Mm-hmm. Other than that, Less Junk, More Journey. You guys, another thing, family first.
Awesome family.
I love it. We love it. So, that's it.
That's
I feel like I should give you a high five. High five. Thank you. I hope I